my best pitcher went on the DL, and the guy that was starting for the Reds, I needed to activate, but I couldn't be ready to cut.
Yeah.
So that made my decision for me. So I put him on the DL and activated Dolo, who struck out the first three guys he faced in 2 innings, pitched great. Then the rain delay, and he came back with. I might as well have gone in for him at that point.
Wow. I can't remember what it's like to go to a baseball game and have a rain delay, because now they have a dome over Miller Park here, or American Family, what it's called. They keep changing the name. There was County Stadium that got torn down. They built Miller Park, and I don't care what anybody says. It's not American Family Insurance BS crap. It's Miller Park. That's their first name. Just because Miller pulled out of it doesn't mean you change the name. People are always going to remember it as being Miller Park. You know.
Well, people pay shitloads of money for naming rights of stadiums.
Yeah, but
I can't think of a bigger waste of money, because you never remember whatever company just paid $80 million to change the name of the stadium to them, because like I said, you just called it Miller Park.
Yeah, that's what it was. 2000.
I don't even know if the Reds play in Great American Ballpark anymore, because they might have been, their naming rights might have been sold, but I don't know if they. You know.
Well, Miller Brewery pulled out of Wisconsin, went down to Illinois. You know, that was about probably 10, 15 years ago. And that's because crime was just running rampage down in Milwaukee. So why would a lot of businesses were leaving? Because crime. Why should they be there? You know, they had a guy come in and try to shoot up the place already. You know, that was a couple of years ago. Probably more than a couple of years ago. It seems like only a couple of years to me, but that probably was 2015, 2016 when that happened. And people are like, "Why should we stay in there?" And so they went. They went to like they went from Milwaukee to like Chicago. I'm thinking, no, you went from like semi decent crime to like, all right, I'm just gonna take the gun and shoot myself and rob my own self now. It's like, what?
Really,
yeah, you know, but the Jackson Ray Kirk Dome. I don't know if we want that. No, but what is going on, everybody? I'm RDV, and I'm here with Eric. Zach is busy this week helping out the elderly. That's his job, elder law, I think. I don't know. He's an insurance guy, but great to see everybody here. Good to see Jackson. Good to see Marani in the chat, and then to anybody else who might be watching and is not commenting. Hello. Like I said, you don't have to comment if you don't want to, but we do appreciate you guys watching. Just here to talk about comic books and just out. Speaking of comic books, there are some new books coming out this week that I actually are looking forward to. And as always, on Thursdays, we do a follow-up stream where we show off the books that we got. And then a lot of times this past 2 years, I've just been browsing, just going through the dollar boxes and finding a lot of old school books. What I consider old school would be like 80s, early 90s, you know. And for $2, begged and bored. It's crazy to see I'm getting a Captain America book or a Hulk book by Peter David for $2, where you'll see some of these Astonishing X-Men books from the 2000s are like $6 to $8 because it's the first appearance or of Dust. It's like, what? But that being said, I'll share my screen here. And do you actually have any books this week you're looking forward to? I know sometimes it's hard for you because you like certain books.
No, I've got 6.
Wow.
So I actually, will be, So I've got 5.
And then our boy Zach sent us his list. Not to be confused, this is our Zach is Zach Richmond, right? It's Richmond, right? It's not Richard. Yeah. Richard's the other one. Yeah. Not to be confused with the one who's, posting stuff constantly on his own channel. Your boy Zach. I got a few stuff here too. Zach sent me his list, and his list actually has some controversial books on here they're starting, which I really don't care too much about. But that being said, let's go with yours. If you're number 5, and then I'll give Zach's number 5 real quickly. I'll just read it off, and then I'll just go right to mine. We'll just do that. That way, Zach feels included, even though he's not here.
Okay. My number 5 is Catwoman, Gotham by Gaslight, number 2.
Ooh.
And by Gaslight, I mean that's what they did to the fans, thinking it was actually going to be a Batman book. But
this one here.
Yes, but I will give it a second issue to see if it gets any better. I mean, I didn't mind that it was a Catwoman book, but I did mind that it was dull.
Well, the first one was Catwoman. I guess it's called the Kryptonian Age.
Where were the Kryptonians?
The Kryptonian is actually they did show
for a second.
Yeah, if it crashed, obviously Talia.
Right, and my other knock was that it was basically like modern day. All the modern day characters just thrust back 140 years.
Well, that's kind of what Ram V did in his Detective Comics. So he kind of did that. He did a toss back his story. Ain't the first time we've seen this for writers. I imagine when we finally get to the showing Superman stuff, I think it'll pick up more. But the description here says it's a League of Shadows. And we also have John Constantine, a court magician. Queen Victoria, Professor Adam Strange explores the farther reaches of the Arctic, and strange rumors that are all chasing about the lost Kryptonian age of mankind. So basically, they're all trying to find something like the Kryptonian age, and it's going to lead to kind of like to them coming across probably the Fortress of Solitude. Probably, if Adam Strange is out there in the Antarctic, is there a Fortress of Solitude? We don't know. But I do love this. I love this kind of like I love the noir Batman when he first started out, that late 1930s kind of era. But I also like this too because this is like the 1800s. So
I want to like it. I just want it to be good.
Yeah.
By the way, Jay, did you go into Sports Ball and see the pictures I posted of my sports room?
All right, so here's some of the other photos. Come on here. Rai Rosma is a cardstock variant, apparently. Which isn't too bad, honestly. Kind of getting that, is that Kelly? Jim Kelly or whatever?
No.
Kelly Jones.
Kelly Jones, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Kelly's the other guy. It's awesome. But yeah, I kind of like this. It kind of looks like a Joker he's going against, kind of face creep. Which we haven't seen the Joker yet. In Gotham by Gaslight. But yeah. Here's the other incentive cover here too. The big looming Batman over the city. Over him. Trees. So. But some of Dago's stories, I noticed it's similar to his other one, Expanse. He did. Sometimes they take a little bit to start, but once they get going, they're good. But
you wouldn't have said that 2 weeks ago, Jay. You wouldn't believe. It looked like a storage, shed.
All right. Well, this actually is my number 5 for this week. I am looking forward to this. I never got a chance to read the Gotham by Gaslight when it was coming out, but I did enjoy the book. And like I said, I'm curious to see what's going to go on with this. And I agree that it probably has been told several times where they take the characters, put them into modern, for modern characters, throw them back in the past and just retell it. But this is a first for me, so I'm gonna keep going with it. Plus, I kind of like the steampunk, stuff like that. Zach's his number 5 this week is a book that's coming out this week as well by Jed MacKay. And that actually is the X-Men number 1. Zach said he's looking forward to that. He's going to give it a chance mainly because it's Jed MacKay. I might check it out digitally, but I'm not holding my breath. Even though Jed McKay has been doing some good stuff with Blood Hunt and with Doctor Strange stuff, I just don't see them letting him do what he wants to do with X-Men because we have all the other X-Men people on there doing their own books. And I don't think he's a good fit with all Gail Simone and all of them because he's actually a good writing. He's been writing better than Gail Simone's been writing in a long time.
I don't know if any of those books make it through their second year.
Probably not. Jed McKay's might be dropped because he's writing too many books. Or it gets taken over by somebody else. You know, it might be a Claremont thing where he writes a couple of issues and then gets kicked off the book. But anyway, let's go to your number 4.
James. My number 4 is Nexus Battle for Thune World, the newspaper strips, number 4.
Alrighty. So much to scroll through.
Yeah, it's not exactly a high order book.
That's what threw me off too. It's they put the reprints in here, which really throws me off. I'm like, wait, this book already came out. But Baxis for Thune World. Love these crayon covers. That's what it looks like. I think he just took a crayon over his line work markers. But yeah, I read the second one. I didn't go back for the after that. You know, mainly because my shops weren't really carrying it, and I just they were, but then like there was a delay or something like that. So then like I completely forgot about that as well because the first one was all right for me, but it wasn't that like captivating. But hopefully this is pretty good for you.
Well, it's at some point you may get into Nexus, and then this would have been. But until then, I can see where you would feel that way.
Like maybe because it's not Mike Barron involved.
Well, like I said, honestly, they were such a well-oiled team, a well-oiled machine together that if you didn't know Barron, if you didn't know that Barron wasn't writing it, you would think he was, because Rude knows him that well. I mean, it feels just like the Barron books did.
I think that what's really not making jiving well for me is it because it's newspaper strips. Is it just one strip story?
Sometimes those need to be a little bigger, like in larger size format so they're easier to read.
It's not just that. It's to me. It's just like I feel like it's the one ends and then it's like all of a sudden it skips. I'm like, wait, am I reading the right order? It doesn't feel like it just totally that's the one newspaper strip that story ends and all of a sudden it's like, is this a continuation or did it skip ahead? I mean, it just felt like it didn't flow from story to story for me in that first volume. That's what it was for me.
Yeah, I've tried to read other Nexus stories that neither one of them were involved in.
Yeah,
and it doesn't feel the same. Jay, who wrote the backup Lois Girl Boss Lane?
Backup Lois Boss.
Yeah, because Gail Simone's on Action now, and I don't know if she wrote both stories, but
probably Rainbow Rowell.
That's I'm thinking about that.
No, I'm saying that's probably who it was. I think
that actually sounds familiar. It doesn't matter. Because like I said, it's not on my list. I'm sure it's not on yours, and it's probably not even on Zach's.
It's a good-looking cover, though. I'll give you that. A lot of these books as shit writers have good covers. They skipped parts of the newspaper strip story. They might have been the Sunday portion.
He wrote it as a news strip thing. I don't think Nexus is in any papers.
No. It's just a format. He did it as that, so it feels like it's a new. You know what it reminds you of? It's like reading. It's like if they put Kolchak, the Night Stalker, into comic book form.
It's a little weird. There have been plenty of Kolchak.
No, but you know what I mean, though. It's like the whole thing with the whole joke with Kolchak is effective. And Vincenzo forgot every week. So that's the kind of like reading this story, like these stories, these newspaper strips. It's like they forgot where they left off, and they just started a new story. It's just like, okay, it's a new story now. So like, it just kind of felt like like they're standalone stories, but they don't really connect. I think that's more what it was probably for me about that first volume. But like I say, you're paying $1, and
It
anybody else,
is Rainbow Rowell.
yep,
Yeah, not a chance in hell.
yep. But I mean, yeah. So Eric, you're paying $1. You're obviously enjoying it, so you're winning. This, that's what it is. You are getting what you're paying for. You're enjoying it. And I think it's only $1. It's really cool because they could charge you $3 for this, But like I said, I don't know how many people were actually going like, oh my gosh, it's Nexus and the comic book store. I don't know. I don't see anybody going gaga over Nexus.
Well, it's because Nexus's audience has been chased away.
Yeah. The audience I'm looking at, when I've seen this one store, it's always like, oh, I gotta pick up that Amazing Spider-Man. I gotta pick up that X-Men. It's like everybody that I talk to online here are not the people that I see at the store buying things. That's I mean, Zach is probably the only person I know that is excited about some of the stuff coming out. I don't really see anybody else going crazy over like, oh, Jed McKay,
Well, no, they've already announced that. That all the stuff that happened in the Krakoan era still happened.
Yeah,
this wasn't a reboot. It's just a continuation.
Yep.
And I don't want to read about a shitload of ex-women who've had their sexual preferences retconned.
Yep, I hear you. But there are people who basically don't know it's a retcon and are into that. For whatever reason, why? But I said I always
they're into it to the tune to where they'll all be gone within 2 years.
Like I said, I if people are enjoying the current stuff, like they're enjoying the Gil Simone stuff, tell me what's great about what you enjoy about it. That's my always thing. It's like I'm not gonna say you're an idiot for liking the things you like. I mean, we don't have to share the same likes, but I mean, I don't want to like call people names because they like something that I don't like. It's kind of pointless, redundant.
No, I'm fine with that's because I said I've had my time.
Yeah.
But when those people say this is so much better than Claremont, like, just shut up. Anyway, Zach's number 4.
Yeah, Zach's number 4 for this week is Geiger.
Giger counter.
Giger. I don't know. Let me look at the cover. I'll show you the cover because the cover actually looks interesting for this. This actually looks like it's going to be an action-packed issue. This reminds me of The Walking Dead. It feels like you're Negan on top of a pile of zombies trying to eat you. These are a bunch of molites? I don't know. It's like, guys with hatchet stuff. It looks crazy. Scheming electrician kidnapped Geiger's best friend. Problem stand between Geiger and electrician is the largest horde of deformed mutant organ peoples he's ever encountered. The solution: launch a desperate assault through them, hoping the masses don't completely overwhelm him. Can the nuclear nomad get through them in time? Yeah, if he just literally all he has to do is just go Nova and just take him out. But or maybe they are used to the radiation, but this actually looks interesting. Out of the first 3 that have come out so far, this new volume, this is the most intriguing cover for me. And I'll still check. I'm still buying them, but I'm hoping this was where it turns around for me and actually gets it really good. Because I've been enjoying Redcoat and Rook a lot better, a lot more. But yeah, that is Zach's number 4. My number 4 is another Kirkman book that's coming out this week. You should guess what that is right away. It is Ultimates number 2. I did like the first issue. I just don't know what to expect from this series because I'm really enjoying Spider-Man. out of all the Ultimate stuff that's coming out, Spider-Man is probably the most enjoying for me. Get the most enjoyment out of it. So this is Dennis Camp, and yeah, doing with a new set of Avengers. Captain America reckons with the makers dismantling nations by visiting the White House, where he meets Joe Biden. It's a massive brawl between Midas and this young band of freedom fighters, but Midas has been holding a superhuman hostage as a power source. Plus, the dark history of what used to be the United States of 6160. I mean, can you imagine they brought in Magneto into this? Because we haven't really seen any of the other actual X-Men stuff. We've only seen the New Mutants, I call them. But yeah. Oh, looks like Omega Red might be there's a cameo for Omega Red. We see a War Machine cameo. I'm not sure how many are multiverse stuff, but yeah, I mean, you get the Nick Bradshaw with the old school armor cover, the first Iron Man armor. So I was gonna kick out seeing Giant Man too and all these stuff, because we don't really see Giant Man on covers anymore. Then you got the Terry Dodson 2025 variant for people who are enjoying it. I like his art. So, right here. But yeah, I hope this turns out to be a good book. I hope it keeps going, being good. And because I get a kick out seeing Reed Richards, but call me Doctor Doom, because that's how messed up in the head he is from the evil Reed Richards make his life miserable. And my other, Miles has nothing to do with this anymore. Miles was in that Ultimate Invasion, so I don't know if they're ever gonna bring Miles into this, or just gonna keep him out of the whole entire Ultimate Hickman verse together. But alrighty, kids, what's up, Bellabees? What's going on? It's great to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got here. I had to say hi. It said morning by mistake. It's night right here already. Well, for some people, it is morning when they wake up. Where are we going to, Mr. Breen? Your number 3?
Well, we can just go to Zach's number 3, because my number 3 is Geiger, and we already talked about it.
Oh, nice. Anything else to say about it?
No.
Okay. Have you been enjoying all of them so far, or is this are you kind of like where I am?
No, I like Red Coat. I really, really like. Yeah, Exodus and Geiger I like, but I'm not big on dystopian.
Yeah.
So, but I respect. They're good stories, good writing, good art, and not overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of, want to support them, just like I want to support the Millerverse. And like everybody else is supporting Energon, because I said I if the big two won't stop sucking, we need alternatives, and then we need the big two to stop sucking, so people can come in and get the alternatives.
Right, I hear you. Yeah. Okay. Looks like we get the same ones. Just copying it down, which ones he has on here, so I don't have to keep going back and forth with my phone. And then, all right. Zach's number, his number 3 for this week is Transformers, which actually is, sorry, did I pass it up already? No, I didn't pass it up. Couldn't have. Maybe I did pass it up. Is that far down? Transformers?
No, there it is.
I was gonna say, I was like, that would be shocked. Well, then again, it's League Comic Geeks. Look what's number 1 pulled. Amazing Spider-Man.
Well, but Batman, Amazing Spider-Man, well, and now Ultimate Spider-Man are the 3 biggest selling books in the industry. Yeah. So
I'm shocked that Amazing Spider-Man is even still that, because of the fact of what they did after One More Day.
It doesn't matter. If you did those same stories in any other adjective than Spider-Man, they would tank. Because I said when Zdarsky had his run of greatness, or very goodness, that book was infinitely better than Amazing Spider-Man, but Amazing Spider-Man outsold it 2-1. It's just automatic behavior now with who's left.
Joe Kelly is coming on, and a lot of the MJ and Peter stands on Twitter and stuff are not excited at all.
Well, I don't think he'll do anything to buck the status quo, and I think
isn't he the brand new gay guy?
He wrote some of it, but again, that was a hard edict from Joe Quesada.
Yeah,
you weren't allowed to stray from that. But that said, I think, like I said, Marvel Comics does things out of spite. You cannot tell me I'm wrong. And one of the things that they do out of spite is not give fans what they want with Peter and Mary Jane. Nobody likes Paul. Like I said, Paul is Marvel's equivalent of Terry from the Teen Titans, only worse. But they're committed to just, what's the alternative? Go watch Mary Jane be a almost lesbian in Jackpot and Black Cat?
To me, the equivalent right now is you could have Paul being the guy that she's cheating on with him while married to Peter, and Peter being okay with it.
Yeah,
remember that Giant Choir show that came out? By his ex-girlfriend, he's living with his ex-wife and her new husband, and like her new boyfriend, and it's just like, what the is this like triangle crap?
Yeah, I said it, and I bet you close to half the people that buy Spider-Man don't even read it.
No, of course. Well, that's what I say too. You buy a lot of, I buy a lot of comic books, and how many of the books you've read issues are actually memorable stories?
God, for the big two, not a lot.
No. The one story I used to remember remember enjoying a lot was the Mariko Tamaki and Detective Comics, Shadow of the Bad Thing, with Arkham Asylum and Psycho Pirate actually being used as a way to control the inmates. Yeah.
And I think I lasted 3 issues of that.
But it was great to see the Bad family working together and stuff. A lot of them. And it wasn't just it wasn't like the Signal and all that stuff. It was actually the original family. And Sim wasn't gay at the time.
Well, if you want to read that, Joe's always talking about this, the James Tynion detective right after Rebirth, or at the beginning of Rebirth, that was very Bat family centric, and Tim wasn't gay yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are things I still remember that are still good stuff. There's a lot of stuff we buy every week, but it's like how much is actually to us was actually we're glad that we bought it, and it's rereadable. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about movies today and movies in general for the past 30 years. There's a very, very few I count on my hand that I actually will want to go back and watch it again because I really enjoyed it that much. But
yeah, that's the Brainiac story might stick around for a few months. I remember even around like Tomasi's Superman, which was really good.
Yeah,
I remember the Vacation 2-parter.
Yes,
but not a whole lot. But then again, I think you tend to. I remember the stuff I read when I was a kid.
Yeah,
way more than even the good stuff and the great stuff that I read as an adult.
It all varies by people. I'm not saying that there's no good stories out today because you can't remember, they didn't stick out to you. But like I said, Tomasi run, Clark coming and putting that shoulder to rest. The one they thought he's been missing for all these years, and they recognize the finds the bone inside the skeleton remains in the river there, and then he's finally laid to rest in the cemetery. Yeah, I like that. I love that kind of stuff. It
was hokey as hell, but
yeah.
They would still be.
My point is that a lot of these days, there's so many people complaining about there's so much bad that you're going to remember the bad. where the good gets overshadowed.
Now you, as it turns out, you don't get up, Reese.
Asperger's? What?
This kid that they brought up that he wasn't supposed to do anything, wasn't hitting at all in AAA. First 2 games, 4 for 6, and a single, double, triple, and a homer.
Yeah, nice.
And they did a feature on him. He's like a Stepford child. He's such a good person.
Oh,
and it's like it's nice to see good things happen to somebody that deserves it.
You know what a lot of people are saying? They want to bring back the Sticker White era, bring back the McGuires, the Sosas. It was enjoyable. Watch him hit home run after home run. It was more fun. But Transformers is Zach's number 3 pick. I'm looking forward to this week. It's been one of the better ongoing independent books. I'm still waiting for. I got more Brubaker books I need to read there. They're already been out. But I don't even know what Brubaker's new book is going to be. If he even has a new book coming out. Because I think he's just working on the criminal adaptation, right? For the TV series. I think he's and he's also been working with the new Batman series that's going to be on Amazon Prime. So I'm curious to see when his next book is coming out and when how long the wait's going to be. But up to that point, though, I said like Energon Universe and the Miller World has just been fun. Ghost Machine, those are the big 3 independent publications that actually you guys should be checking out if you're looking for something alternative to this in the Marvel and DC, which is the same old that you've seen before. And check out anything by Brubaker or Conan or Savage Conan. Those are always fun. They're Titan. But Transformers has been fun. If you're a fan of the 80s cartoon, this is going back to the 80s. And it's just reliving your childhood, and except that when humans get killed, they get splat in a creative way. Daniel Warren Johnson's has been fun. One of those writers I never thought I'd be like reading a book by his, because I've seen his names, for different books, and I'm like, okay, sure. But like when I sat to read down Murder Falcon, under Skip's recommendation, I was like, oh, it's such a great book, and then then there was an announcement he was going to be a Transformer, so I'm like, oh, I gotta check this out. So I've just been having fun with that. So a lot of different books covers coming out this week. If you want to get this is the Constructicon, and then this was a cool one too. The kind of reminds me of Iron Giant kind of art on this one, but a lot of different cool art here. These are like posters. I don't have my wall, but overall, that's Zach's number 3. My number 3 though is a different book. And this is the 3 of 3 tie into Blood Hunt. And it is Wolverine Blood Hunt. Wolverine versus sea vampires or vampires that suck. Into the deep. Wolverine and Nightguard have made it to the heart of the vampire base, but if they can fight through an aquatic vampires? What? I know, right? This is like either the most stupidest thing or the most creative thing. Because a lot of you are saying like, well, vampires can't go in the water. They'll die. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see where it's going to go, how it's going to end. And he's going after his old LA Maverick, who's been turned, who's working for this other vampire who wants to be like the queen of vampires. There's always that one vampire who thinks that she's above everyone else and wants this basically backstab the main vampire who did all the work in the back to take credit. Basic Democrats, right? But I've been having fun with this. Tom Waltz I'm not sure what else he's written besides this stuff, but I've been having fun with it. But yeah, like Creatures in the Black Lagoon more than that. But what is Tom Waltz? Have you heard of Tom Waltz before?
No, but he looks way too normal to be a comic book writer.
Right? I guess. Oh, wait, there's going to be a 4th one. I thought it was only 3. Looks like he's done some G.I. Joe in Ninja Turtles. Okay. So this guy has been Team NT and stuff and doing that kind of that. That's probably why he's probably a lot better than some of these other writers. Cool. Not to say that TMT IDW is great. I never read it. I'm not a fan of the Jenica and that crap either. So, but I'm not sure he was the one that was writing Jenica. I think that was a woman that was writing that stuff. Don't call me saying that's because it's a woman. It's bad. It's just I just think it was a female writer that nobody liked. That's all. But that is my number 3 for this week. What is your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is Green Lantern.
Oh, Green Lantern. Sorry, I go back to when we're reading the Silver Age. Weird. All right. I'm kind of weird about this myself. I mean, like I know it's Jeremy Adams. That's the good thing about this. Anybody else having the being forced to write a tie-in, would probably with Absolute Power would probably botch it. But this is the second tie-in he's done for a story in interrupting his run. It would be the third book, actually, right? Because this is the first of the Absolute, and then the other one was the Fear one, right? Night Terrors.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how this goes. I mean, obviously we got your buddy Al on here. Sinestro, Red Lantern, Hal, and tied up to a chair, interrogation room. So, and also, Blade's in this as well. I don't know. I mean, I'm liking this. I'm liking these stock covers, but I'd rather have these as actual index cards that come inside the actual poly bag. I'd rather have that than have it as a sideways cover. A lot of books are getting these with them characters, I guess. But yeah. You just get the normal cover, or you guys are? Yeah. But it looks like King Shark's in this. Oh, that's right, he was. And yeah, okay. So, anything to say about this?
No, I said I'm not thrilled that it's part of absolute garbage or whatever that event's called.
Depowered Titans or Powered the Justice League?
Absolute Power.
Yeah.
Well, it's close.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolute power, but I guess it's all about Amanda Waller taking away the abilities and superpowers of the Justice League.
Like I said,
which does what really? Because we have Batman, remember?
Every time I hear Miss Cheryl at Cubicle 4 at the DMV, I will never not laugh out loud at that.
Oh man.
God, they're so broken, this company.
Yeah, Hal needs to find a way to get the new power battery recharged, but Theros has plans, and Hal is being hunted by the most dangerous aliens on the planet. Secret origin of Lord. I don't care about the secret origin of this guy, the ruler of the planets.
No,
it's like it's when they did that stupid annual for Detective Comics, or no, Catwoman, and it was by Ram V. It was all about that John Pond Valley or wannabe. It was, and it's just like, I don't care about this guy. And annual's supposed to be a story about including the hero, not just about a villain, his origin story. Like every hero, and that's the thing I hate about current comic books. Every villain has to be sympathetic.
Well, whether it's Trump or
Trump you can't be sympathetic to.
Or Biden or Newsom or any of them, make annuals great again. That's all we ask. And maybe just come out once a year.
Just get Mike W. Barr to do it.
And after the book's been out for a year.
Like, you know what I mean, though? It's like, I just want a villain that's straight up evil. I don't want one that's like, well, the reason why I'm evil because my daddy didn't love me and my mom was a prostitute. It's So
God,
it gives you excuse. I don't. I'm just sick of that.
Yeah, where we need more villains like Mongol.
Well, that's why. I mean, that's why I love Lex Luthor when he was a straight up villain. Like it was just so great because he had like
Lex as a straight up villain was too cartoony for me. And the Lex that was like the head of the Legion of Doom or whatever they called him. At least there was some. At least there was there was more to him than just blah ha.
Did you see the video I posted on Twitter of the Legion of Doom thing roll call?
No.
With Super Friends. It's like Lex Luthor, and like it show it pan over to the next villain, and he'd be like in the dark, and then the light would shine on him, like, and he call off like each roll call. I'm like, why are they having a roll call? it's like you take attendance. All right, we have this guy. All right, it's just so dramatic.
So,
like,
what is the number 2 pick of Zachary Banks?
Oh, number 2 pick of Zachary Banks is Green Lantern. For Zach this week. Like I said, whenever I see something that's a tie-in to something, it really disheartens me. It makes me like I kind of lose interest in the issue. And I love Jeremy Adams. I'm hoping this isn't tarred by absolute nonsense.
Well, I know you weren't reading Hawkman at the time. Venditti was a good enough writer to make the issues that he was saddled with whatever bullshit event DC had going.
We're talking about the latest one, right?
Well, the one from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It said, I mean, where you find a way to take chicken shit and make chicken salad out of it. I trust Adams to be able to do that as well, because I do think he's not there yet, but he's in the ballpark of Venditti, I think, because like I said, he's done very well on 2 major characters, and that's pretty telling.
Right.
So I think it'll be good. We're just gonna have to put up with a couple of crappy cutaways to Miss Cheryl at Cubicle 4.
If I were Jim Lee, I would get off my ass and be like, dude, hey, we need to have Jeremy Adams on Flash.
Not.
I know, but listen to me. I know, but I'm saying if I was Jim Lee and I actually give a shit about actual comic books in his position, I would put Jeremy Adams back on Flash. Because the great thing about him, and I also have him doing Green Lantern. So what? Because that way, you notice that whenever he writes a book, he has a guest star, and the guest star is something he's not writing on a character. When he has the Flash, when he was had the Wally What's the Flash, he had Hal Jordan do a team up with him, and then vice versa. You had Barry Allen popped up here and did a team up with Green Lantern. He knows these characters. I honestly, when it comes to these, when it comes to the Flash or even Aquaman and Green Lantern, I consider them to be side characters compared to the big 3. As much as people may disagree, Aquaman is a side character. Green Arrow is a side character, and if you got a guy as good as talented as Jeremy Adams, he can bring those characters on each week. Have a different Justice League member doing a team up with him.
I don't agree that they're side characters. I will say that DC may only have 3 legitimate A-listers because that's the way they've set it up. But the 3 characters you mentioned, certainly Green Lantern and Flash, they're 1A. They've been around just as long.
Yeah.
Well, the characters, if not the current iteration, but
you look at the popularity of them, though, as far as what they used to be.
Well, there's 3 characters at DC that are considered A-list. One of them has never sold. Yeah. Green Lantern and Flash almost always outsell Wonder Woman. The only reason why they're not right now is because DC doesn't give a shit about Green Lantern, and Cy Spurrier, who they love for his Flash to have been better than that icky Family Man's version, just sucks. And Tom King inexplicably has a fan base.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know who they are, but
I liked having Jeremy Adams on these books because Jeremy Adams can take these other characters and nobody's writing them,
yeah,
bring them into that. And like I said, I've come to appreciate about Jed McKay over at Marvel. As much as he might be just above average, writer.
I'm going to need my camera for this. Jeremy Adams, Jed McKay.
I can't see you.
I know, that's the point.
John Cena? What? My dad?
I mean, I said, Marvel. I don't know that Marvel has a writer.
No, I'm not saying that Jed McKay is on the level of.
I know what you're saying, but
yeah, Jeremy Adams is way up here. Yeah, and Jed McKay is down here, but Jed McKay at Marvel in the same way as Jeremy Adams here at DC. Jed McKay is bringing in characters that just been kind of thrown to the side. And
that's the problem with comics today is everybody gets thrown to the side.
And I love the fact that people are like probably rolling their eyes. Another pointless, blood hunt. Who cares about this event? He's just going to be erased. They're right, sure, but I like the fact that Jed McKay is actually putting effort into bringing in characters that are characters that people maybe forgotten about. He's going to put back to Bizarre Adventures. It was a 33. Brought back Varney, of all characters.
Oh, Varney had been around before that.
Yeah, I know, but he's saying this going that far back is that he hasn't been used since then, since the 80s. So it's kind of cool to see like him bring back Victor Strange, another character. Just bringing back characters that again they get thrown to the side and actually and you're not changing them to the story; they actually are written character. So, but yeah. But more importantly, though, when it comes to Aquaman was great by Dan Abnett, and then Kelly basically chopped his balls off.
Yep.
But I mean, like, since then, I don't hear anybody talking about. Oh, I love Aquaman. I love Aquaman. Let's give me more Aquaman stories. If anything, I hear people saying DC sucks. Marvel is like, I don't. And even the people who are buying stuff, like I don't see people saying like, you know what? Oh, I want another Aquaman book.
Well, there's as much as I can appreciate you and Zach trying to stay positive. The amount that DC has fallen in just 5 years, is just there. It's mind numbing. I mean, Marvel, by and large, has been bad for 12 years. We're in 2024.
Yeah.
12, 13, 14 years as a whole.
Yes.
DC 5 years ago, I think I was buying 15 or 20 titles a month.
Right.
And I hadn't done that since, the days of Siege and Blackest Night. But now, I mean, there's just, like I said, they don't care. Anyway, where do we leave off?
We're on to I just did Zach's number 2 was Green Lantern. My number 2 was Transformers, which we already talked about. We can go on to your number 1.
I know 66% of us are going to have the same number 1.
Really?
Oh God, yes.
Are you sure? Because Zach doesn't.
He's the 33%.
Zach's number 1 is the Ultimates, but I know ours is not that.
Yes, ours is a 2-word title. First word, get. Second word, fury.
Exactly. Yep. Get Fury. Dude, I love this. Hey, look, there's even a Captain America or Captain Marvel part in there too. Just been looking forward to this. This is fun. I love that. Look at that cover. That cover is just you got the barbed wire, you got the different scenes going at the skull.
Yeah.
You got the plane dropping the bombs. It's the bullet holes. It's just fun. And every time I see Punisher drawn for any of the Garth Ennis thing, he's just like he is huge and he's got beat the shit out of you. he's a tall, just a mean son of a bitch. So of course, Garth Ennis here, during Vietnam, he has to go and rescue or take out Nick Fury. He's gonna turn on these guys, these corrupt guys, and I'm waiting for it, and I'm waiting for it to be brutal. Because when I think of Garth Ennis, I think of Butcher over at on The Boys. Butcher was like that. He's a tall British brute that just beat the shit out of everybody, and that's kind of what the Punisher is, like that. Both of them don't go after kids; they will not touch kids. But just like Punisher doesn't like capes. Butcher didn't like capes either. So there's a lot of similarities, but overall, though, Punisher through Garth Ennis has probably been one of my favorite, just if anything, versions of Punisher, because what you're getting. You're getting the Punisher. You're getting a guy who's gonna basically take a crowbar or whatever or a grenade, shove it in your mouth, and let it go off. Or he's gonna, just enough where basically your Captain America is like, oh, what the hell, dude? But I'll let you go. Comments?
No, shit, I can't top that.
Yeah, I mean, Punisher is basically what we've all wanted to do to crime. A lot of us.
There's almost no chance that when we reconvene on Thursday night that we're not talking about this as the same part of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I fully expect this to be my number one when I read it. And, but yeah, I said, so let's say we head over to the land of trades and see if there's any, wallet remove or, money removal.
Yeah. And I got to say, there's no chance in hell that this isn't my number one. All right, let's go over to trades. Where's there? Trades hardcovers. All right. Cobra Commander is finally out in trade. If you've not checked out Cobra Commander, and so you're not the biggest G.I. Joe fan, like I wasn't, check it out. It is just awesome. And you could skip these next two books because this is just the crappy shit that we get from not good Flash. This is superior shit. So avoid these two books. And avoid this whole row except for this. This is great. Turn this into
I just read an issue from that, and Doc Ock snaps the neck of an innocent scientist. And I'm thinking, while he's plotting to kill millions.
Yeah.
Which in the first time he's done that. So Marvel's attempts to redeem him are just, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just, sorry. I said, sorry, Aunt May's boyfriend. But
it'd be like if somebody filleted your girlfriend and all of a sudden you're best friends with them next week. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh. There we go. This looks really cool. Scorch is really cool too. If you haven't checked out Scorch, and Nick Quinn, he's actually, is he here tonight? I did not see him in the chat.
I did not either.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I ignored his top 5, but he's not even in the chat. There we go. Fantastic Four from 98, 536 and 537. Thor from 1 through 12, 600. Trailer from Dark Reign. This looks really cool.
God, it's hard to believe this is almost just like 15 years old now.
But it's so great. And I love the design of Thor. Why would he not be all muscular and like that?
I'm just amazed that Marvel's been shit for this long.
Yeah. The glory of Asgard begins anew. Thor and Asgardians recently perished, swallowed up by Ragnarok. But when Mjolnir crash lands in Oklahoma, the hammer attracts attention of not only the Fantastic Four, but Doctor Doom and Nurse. Yeah. And this was such a great. I remember reading this, and it's such a great story. Everyone is revived back except for Sif. They can't find her, her true body. It's because Loki stole it, and she's stuck. He cast her into this dying old woman's body. It's like he has to like find her before, otherwise you won't be able to be reborn. She'll be stuck. And it's just fun. So yeah, in Fantasy 4 1998 run, that's so fun. Oliver Copiel, fantastic artist. You also got Mark Morales on there too, then the Yanks.
Yeah, it's funny how Straczynski did well on Fantastic Four, did very well on Thor. Is Captain America's unreadable shit. Yeah. So, I'm not even sure at this point bringing the writers back from that era, because most of them have devolved so badly now. I got to believe like a Olivia Copia, if they would start paying artists again.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's just amazing that, but at this time, how much I look forward to new issues of books that you couldn't pay me to read now.
Oh my gosh. You want to know who you bring back and write? And the other ones I'd actually like would be Mark Millar. Obviously, he's proven that he's not gone crazy. Claremont has been fun. Peter David has been fun too. David Micheline. And like I said, like Straczynski, probably not. But Claremont though. I mean, like Claremont should be an X-Men. David Micheline should be on either Spider-Man or be on a Venom title, whatever, and just like it's just like there are still writers you can bring back that actually will put out good stories. I would weed out a lot of these. I would give Brian Edward Hill, just give him Blade, give him Black Panther. He's been doing well with those.
Or give him a white character.
Yeah, that too.
It's
Hickman's been doing well in Spider-Man. Keep Hickman on and it's amazing.
It's a shame that Marvel will not probably even approach these guys. Now, I mean, yeah, I could see, Peter David's not the best health. Claremont could probably have a 2-year run in him to get people. Because if you advertised that Chris Claremont was going to do Uncanny X-Men for the first 2 years,
yep,
and gave it enough time for word to get out, that would be an easy 6 figures for multiple issues, if not all the way through.
And I would put Salvador LaRocca on his art with him for Uncanny. They've proven they still work. Salvador LaRocca has even got better.
Michelini, give him Spider-Man and Iron Man and say, get us out of this rut. But Marvel doesn't want to do that because
no.
They're happy the way things are. They're getting the fans they've always wanted. They're not making any money or producing very many good comics.
Are they getting the fans? What fans are there?
That's what I'm saying. I'm kind of being sarcastic by the lack of sales. But that is because the audience that they wanted doesn't exist in large enough numbers to actually carry.
I think the reason a lot of stuff is because social media. Now people actually have a voice. People can actually stuff and now they complain about things. Before, remember as we've heard from Chuck Dixon and some other writers, have said like the Marvel bullpen, as far as the letters column, wasn't really by fans. A lot of it was handpicked by.
Well, no, the first 6 months or so, they didn't have fan letters, so Flo wrote them.
I still feel like a lot of them. There might be a few from actual real people. I think a lot of them were just kind of like. Because look at the ones of today. There's no way where people are running in saying like Amazing Spider-Man.
That's we're not talking about today.
No,
because I know they did that on SJW Marvel titles, but hell, there were. I know that they were real because a lot of them were written by people that ended up writing comics professionally. I was looking through a book the other day. I mean, I've seen a Frank Miller letter.
But I mean, like today is compared to the
No, but in those days, Chuck is exaggerating. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But there's I was reading an old comic. There's a letter from Mike W. Barr And there's all kinds of
Jerry's got one too, right?
what's that?
Doesn't Jerry have one?
Jerry.
Jerry.
Oh yeah. He's several. Anyway,
But I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like they could if they really wanted to, but they don't care.
well, they don't want to. They don't want to run the risk of finding out that we were right.
Well, they also don't want to be canceled.
Well, if you're worried about that, then you deserve to go broke, and that's what is happening. And
So
anyway, enough of
Canary's-
that. Enough
Canary's-
of me whining.
Stop whining! Come on. Snyder and Panel. I just call them Panasonic. Panovision. Canary. I never didn't read that. Hunt for the Skinwalker. Didn't read that either. Mark Millar and Jorge Jimenez. That was Reloaded. That last issue paid up for everything that I had to suffer through in the first four. Magic Order Volume 1 trade coming out. These are all through Dark Horse. If you have not gotten these trades before, because their Image is out, because now Middle World is now on Dark Horse, so he's releasing all these through Dark Horse, brand new trades for you to get into. Captain Canuck, Super Dinosaur. Never heard of these. Oh, look, Sainted Love. I can skip that. Getting some manga now, but not much for trades though. That's what it looks like. It's all manga stuff.
Yeah, like my wallet is grateful.
Right? Devil Wears My Face, yeah. Like I said, the Magic Order is a really good series. If you haven't checked that out,
I was reading the first series.
Yeah, Oliver Copio's on it. Yeah, same.
Yeah. I would like to go back and read those, but I also I'm looking at all those long boxes of unread comics and all the PS Art books I still haven't read, even though I've knocked off a bunch of them lately. I've still got half of the Creepy and Eerie's to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bear. I mean, there's just a ton.
Right. And then there's this Daniel Warren Johnson has this. I didn't realize it was Daniel Warren Johnson, but it's Space Mullet. I've never heard of this before. But Cobra Commander, if you haven't collected it, it's finally in trade. $15. To me, that's a steal for $15. Remember, it was Image first. Remember, did they always for $15 or were they $10? The Image first. I thought they were like I think they were 15. I thought they were cheaper than that, but Maybe Spider-Man, Turn of the Center 6, that's David Michelin. Then you have Eric Larson tie-in, Peter Parker Spectacular. Sandman's in there too, and all that stuff. Scorch, if you haven't been reading into the individual issues, you can collect. It's all collected here in this nice little volume here for $17. Which the deal basically is that it's still a good deal because these issues have been like $2.99, I think, or something like that, for Scorched.
They still are.
Yeah. So not a lot of good trades. I mean, there are some though. And like I said, if you were a fan of the Miller World and you missed out on those first volume trades, they're releasing them all for a nice about $20 each, probably. The real Dark Horse, and right now there's 4 volumes. So I've been having fun with it. It's a female, I guess the daughter of the original leader of the group, and it's like at first I admit. I was like, oh, this feels like it's just going to be like where she's going to be an unlikable character. And she's kind of grown. But as far as character development, I've been enjoying it. So, but that is it for this week. And I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I want new trades collecting the original Marvel G.I. Joe, which they did the omnibus, didn't they?
I don't remember.
I think it was Kickstarter for the G.I. Joe all collected. It was Larry Hama's. Unless there were ones that weren't Larry Hama's that were Marvel.
Were there any? I thought he was there the whole time. But...
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he did all the yeah. They did two Kickstarter or they did a Kickstarter and they had you can either have the blue Cobra version or you could have the G.I. Joe red version. But I'm sure it's probably like $100. So
yeah, if you're out there tomorrow and you got money left over and you can't find any back issues, grab an EC. $20. Can't beat it.
Grab an EC, you grab an old Superman, grab any of the older stuff.
I would say no. I'm gonna grab an EC trade.
Yeah,
you ain't getting any old EC comics for $20.
No. Let's see here. We're going here. Jim Lee's making $20K or more doing commissions. He doesn't give a fuck about doing his real job. DC. He's just on there on paper. He's just and
DC. And I don't understand it because Jim Lee's name doesn't mean anything to this new audience, which I think is why he signed off on all the garbage that they've been doing.
Yeah.
Just to keep it this nice 7-figure job where he basically doesn't have to do anything.
But oh my gosh, I would just how quickly you'd see a company fold if Marvel or DC decided to basically try to go and put out decent books. I mean constantly and go away from all the LGBTQ stuff. They'd be canceled so fast.
No, all you'd have to do is survive the initial outrage.
You think they would at this point?
All you have to do is not cave, and then they find somebody else to go after. Because once the SJWs are like sharks, or like piranhas, they smell blood, they attack. You don't give them any, they go away. It's that simple.
But at this point, a lot of people who were like the original good stuff have left these companies.
Well, the problem is the people in charge agree with these people. That's why that's why sales are down, and there's no hope of it getting better.
Yeah, I said, even if they did get better, try to get better, and they got rid of these people and went away from all that stuff. They brought in Chuck Dixon or just people who let Jeremy Adams write, what would be considered centrist or at least conservative, family-centered stories. Do you think that they would just, after being canceled so much, do you think they'd actually just fold, or do you think
no?
Do you think people would come back?
Because if for whatever reason they had the backing of Disney, which they wouldn't because Disney's SJW to the core now.
Yeah.
But let's just say they did. Disney. I don't know if they still have FU money, but they're close enough. They could survive that. Marvel would expand their market share lead. And just like it's always been, 5 years later, DC would follow suit.
Like if Disney, let's say Marvel was sold by off, they didn't care. Disney didn't want it anymore because it was like they milked it to death. They don't care. They want to do something else. Like, do you think they think Marvel would dare survive? Or do you think Marvel would just kind of be obsolete and just be liquidated?
It would have to be like a sports team where somebody would buy it as a toy.
Yeah, because I look at DC because DC doesn't have the Marvel or the Disney backing. I don't know. Is this who owns it? Discovery now? It was AT&T, I thought, but I thought.
Good Lord, why not just put Stevie Wonder back there?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, good God, if it's not going to get any better, just bring back Angel Hernandez. At least we can make fun of him.
Where's the self checkout umps? That's what I want. It's just where
up.
Why don't they just have? Why don't they just go by what the computer says? They have a camera back there, and the camera just it's a simple. And it says ball, like a robotic voice. Like that's what I want. I want the ump cam. I want the ump. They should always have a camera, like a body camera on the ump, so you can tell exactly what he's looking at his mask there. There should always be a camera in there so they can see where he's looking.
Oh shit!
That would be great.
Wait a minute. I gotta delete my tweet. It was wrong. He's so good he doesn't have a single.
Oh. Oh,
Whoa.
guess who popped up in that Axel Foley movie that Rob and I were reviewing? The new one, the Beverly Hills Cop. Madison with the Y and two N's, but not where you think. The girl from She-Hulk, the annoying Valley girl, the one that was hanging out with Wong. She popped up in there, and in Beverly Hills, she was like the realtor showing off like the house and stuff, and she just played the same exact character. And it's just like I like the fact that actress extremely does so well at playing the stupid airhead Valley girl, you know. But it fit really well. But all right, Undead Quinn, you're finally here.
Oh, Reese Mania! Home run. Triple double home run today. Nice. Holy crap. This is storybook. I'm sorry. I said this is, this is the kind of thing that you couldn't sell this to Hollywood.
Wait, who is Reese?
Guy named Reese Hines was hitting 215 in the minors. Yeah. He's had 7 at bats. He has 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs in 2 days.
So this is the guy who's going to the Yankees next year, right?
Oh, a week from now, he might be sent back because he might be 0 for the next week. But for right now, this is Roy fucking Hobbs stuff.
It's
holy shit.
I feel like anybody does well or really good for a couple of weeks on the Reds gets traded off.
No, it's just like I said, it's a really, really fun story. Because this kid, like I said, he's by every metric, he is a good person.
Right.
That I'm not even sure he deserved his call up. He probably doesn't get it if the Reds weren't so god awful offensively. But I mean, the Reds brought up 2 guys, Edwin Rios and Reese Hines. Rios doesn't have a hit. Hines is 5 for 7. The Reds' crown jewel that spent half the year on suspension for steroids, has been here for 3.5 weeks. He has 6 hits. Hines has 5 in 2 days.
Jeez.
Like I said, it is storybook. It's freaking amazing.
Well, like I said, try not to get your hopes up too high because I
don't have my. You're missing the point. I don't have my hopes up. This is fun to watch while it's happening.
Okay. And did Quinn says, are you saying you only have Transformers? That's it for this week? Nothing else? Your trade, I hate Fairland. There's a trade out for that as well. What's up, Theo Draken? Saying I hear good things about Transformers in the Spell Scorch Discord server. Okay. It's name dropping Discord servers. I have no clue who they are. It's like
I may have to take a Green Arrow cover or 2 off to listen to his post game interview.
Oh my goodness.
Reese Mania, brother. Well, brother.
Well, that being said, though, we hope that you guys had fun and saw some books that maybe you guys are maybe might pick up for those who actually have want to buy books and have the money to buy them. We look forward to see you guys on Thursday, seeing what you guys picked up as well. Because I usually show about books, but we also want to know what you guys are reading, what you guys are interested in, because there might be people who are just watching who are just to watch us because you find us interesting, or you're just on that weird side of YouTube. I don't know. I know that a lot of people are like, yeah, we're done with Marvel and DC. We're done with comic books. It's just kind of lost interest. We're whatever here. But that being said, for those who do read, we want to know what you guys are looking forward to. And
Reese Hines next at bat.
Yes.
See if we can get that single for the cycle.
Alrighty. If you haven't done so, punch that like button in the balls. Just hit the notification button after you subscribe so you get all notifications. And if you're not already doing so, follow us over on Twitch under Geeky Puppet Show. We are streaming to Twitch and to Twitter at the same time. Or maybe not Twitter, but Twitch and YouTube. And YouTube's our main platform. And if you guys haven't done so, please check out the Ko-Fi link right there at kofi.com/puppeteen. Drop $1 in the till if you can. Help us basically pay for this and also for the readings we use through Comixology. And as always, we love League of Comic Geeks. It's always fun to see what other people are putting as number one for whatever reason on their most pulled lists. But it's also a free app you can use through your phone or through your PC credit account, and you can basically keep track of what you own or what your pull list is or what your or your wish list. It's easy to use. Even a caveman can do it.
It's so contagious. My guy even hit a 2-run homer.
The Batman Werewolf. I'm not sure what the Batman Werewolf. You mean the Kryptonian thing? I didn't know this was a Batman Werewolf story. There's Gotham by Gaslight, Kryptonian Age, but there's a Batman story. I did not see that.
All right, well, should probably wrap this up and head over to the other room unless you've got to go do other things.
All right. Well, that being said, yeah, over on Isle Comics, I guess there's going to be a cover ranking. Hopefully, he is there.
Green Arrow.
All right. Yes, Mike Grell, Green Arrow. I hope he's there, because that would just suck if he's not. Because a lot of times he's not there, he forgets to put the overlays on there, so can't really host it anyway if we want to. So we'll be over at Isle Comics after this. Like I said, thank you all for being here. It's great to see you. Undead Quinn, it's great to see you here, man. I'm Theo Dragon, Jackson Raykirk, or Roykirk, which you would prefer. Maranya, Eloise, Jay Lucian, and I think that's it. Oh, Justin. He says, I'd buy that for $1. I'm not sure what he's talking about. And Purple Chittery. Leaving a comment saying on Twitter, or Twitch, saying that George Washington just died. Well, it's been a long time coming, he's going to die sometime, And thank you all for being here. Later, guys.
See you Thursday. And in 5 minutes over at I Love Comics.